In the town of Hollow Bend, there was a tunnel that nobody remembered building. It stretched exactly 437 feet and 9 inches, but every time someone measured it, the numbers changed. The walls were damp but never wet, and if you listened closely, you could hear whispers, though no one was inside. One Tuesday afternoon, Edgar Noel, a man who always wore mismatched socks, decided to walk through the tunnel while eating an unripe pear. He took one bite, spat it out, and continued walking. Halfway through, he found a shoe nailed to the ceiling with no explanation. He checked his own feet, both shoes were still there. When he looked back, the tunnel was shorter than before. Meanwhile, across town, a woman named Bernice Holloway found a letter in her mailbox. It was addressed to the one who almost remembers. Inside, it read, "Don't let Edgar finish the pear." Bernice didn't know an Edgar, nor did she care for pears. But she carried the letter to the bakery anyway, because that's where she always went when things didn't make sense. At the bakery, the baker handed her a loaf of bread shaped like an ear. "For the tunnel," he said. Bernice nodded as if she understood, but she didn't. Still, she took the bread and left, only to find that her shoes had changed colors. They were now the exact shade of regret. Back at the tunnel, Edgar finally reached the other side and found himself in a field of clocks, all ticking backward. A pigeon wearing a monocle landed on his shoulder and whispered, "You should have finished the pear." Edgar looked at the half-eaten fruit in his hand and suddenly felt like he had forgotten something very important, maybe his name. Or maybe the number of times he had blinked since stepping into the tunnel. Bernice arrived at the tunnel just in time to see Edgar fade slightly, as if he were becoming less real. Panicked, she threw the ear-shaped bread at him. It hit his chest, and he immediately sneezed out a key. The key had a tag that read, "For the door that isn't there." Without hesitation, Edgar walked to a spot where no door had ever existed and turned the key in the air. A lock clicked. The tunnel sighed. The next morning, the tunnel was gone. The bakery only sold normal bread. Edgar was nowhere to be found, but Bernice found a pear on her doorstep, perfectly ripe. She didn't eat it,